The following is a secret most people realize only when it is far too late. You are currently paying for your success with the only currency that never renews, and you are being overcharged. We have been conditioned to worship the grind, to wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor, and to chase a ghost called work-life balance. But let's be honest, balance is a lie. It's a fairy tale designed to keep you running on a hamster wheel, believing that if you just move a little faster, you'll finally reach some magical horizon where everything stabilizes. It won't. In fact, the harder you balance, the more you lose. Every time you win at the office, you feel like a stranger in your own home. Every time you try to be present with your family, the ghost of your unfinished to-do list haunts your mind. It's a violent tug-of-war where both sides are losing. Welcome to Better State. I'm glad you're here, because today we are going to dismantle the lie of balance and replace it with something far more powerful: integration. Before we dive into the frameworks that will allow you to reclaim 40 hours of your life back this month, please subscribe to the channel. Your support is the fuel that allows me to keep deconstructing these high-performance systems and sharing them with you. I've looked into the eyes of founders who have everything on paper but have nothing in their hearts because they are slaves to their own calendars. They feel like they don't have enough time, but the truth is much darker. It's not a time problem, it's a priority problem. You are drowning in low-value tasks because you've been told that doing more is the path to being more. It's time to stop the bleeding and start designing a life where work and joy aren't enemies, but allies. Stick with me, because the math of your freedom starts right now. Once you realize that the clock isn't the enemy, but rather the way you value the seconds ticking away, you begin to understand that freedom isn't a feeling, it's a math problem. Most of us are trapped in a relentless loop, working 60 or 70 hours a week, doing everything ourselves because we've been tricked into thinking that doing equals value. We end the day depleted, overwhelmed by 12 hours of busy work, unable to point to a single move that actually moved the needle. This is where the buyback principle enters the conversation as a lifeline, not just a strategy. The core idea I invite you to consider is this: stop spending your life force on work that drains your soul, buy that time back, and then reinvest it into the things that only you were born to do. I want us to get practical, so let's look at the numbers together. We need to calculate your buyback rate, the literal price of your liberty. Take your annual income, including every bit of profit you generate, and divide it by 2,000. That's the average amount of hours you'll work in a year once you strip away the holidays. That number is your effective hourly rate, but we aren't done. Now divide that number by 4. That result is your buyback rate. This is the maximum amount you should be willing to pay someone else to handle a task so that you never have to touch it again. Why 4? Because when you offload a task at that rate, you are securing a 4 times return on your investment. Anything you can outsource for that price, from cleaning your house to managing your inbox, is a winning trade. The most expensive tax you pay is the cost of doing a $10 task when your brain is capable of a $1,000 decision. This isn't just about money, it's about reclaiming the mental bandwidth to finally lead your life instead of just surviving it. But knowing your rate is only half the battle. The real transformation begins when you stop guessing where your life is leaking and start looking at the evidence. We all have those moments where we lose ourselves in the digital void, opening a tab for a quick task and surfacing 2 hours later from a social media trance, wondering where the afternoon went. To break this spell, we have to perform a time and energy audit, a process that is as much about self-honesty as it is about efficiency. For the next 2 weeks, I want you to track your life in 15-minute increments, recording every action without judgment. This data is the mirror that reflects who you actually are versus who you think you are. Once you have this map, we apply a filter of color and cost. Take a green highlighter for the tasks that light you up, the ones that leave you feeling more alive after you finish them. Then take a red one for the tasks that suck your energy dry, the administrative slog, and the repetitive chores that make your heart heavy. Next to each one, mark it with a dollar sign based on your buyback rate. When you see a red task with a low dollar amount, that is your invitation to let go. This audit isn't just a spreadsheet, it's a tool for liberation. It reveals the silent killers of your potential and gives you the permission you've been seeking to stop doing the things you hate so you can finally double down on the things you love. Once you've identified the energy-draining leaks in your day, you're no longer just a victim of your schedule. You become the architect of your own existence. This is where we move from defense to offense by utilizing the preloaded year and the perfect week. Most people approach their calendar like a blank canvas that they allow the rest of the world to paint on with public requests, meetings, and emergencies. But if you don't design your life plan before your business plan, the business will eventually consume the life. The preloaded year is about putting the big rocks in first: the family birthdays, the anniversaries, the recovery retreats, and the moments that actually make a life worth living. If you only had 5 years left, these are the only things that would matter. So why aren't they protected today? Zooming into the micro level, we build the perfect week, which is fundamentally about managing energy rather than time. I've realized that my best decisions happen when my mind is fresh, so I protect my mornings for deep, creative work and strategic thinking, leaving the autopilot admin for when my fuel is low. We also have to be ruthless with bleed time. If a meeting is set for an hour but can be done in 20 minutes, cut it. Use the no extra time (NET) strategy to integrate growth into your existing rhythm. Listen to that life-changing book while you're driving, or turn a stagnant boardroom meeting into a walking session that lights you up. When you stop reacting to the pings of the world and start preloading your intentions, you move from a state of frenetic survival to a state of deliberate power. You aren't just getting things done, you are ensuring that the right things are getting your best self. Ultimately, these frameworks and calendars are just tools, but they only work if you are willing to undergo a fundamental shift in how you see yourself. This is the moment where we move past the logistics and confront the identity shift, moving from a doer to a director. For years, I wore my busyness like a shield, believing my value was tied to how hard I could push and how many fires I could put out. But that is the identity of an employee, not a leader. The 10.0 version of you, the one we are building toward here at Better State, understands that your true worth isn't found in the hours you grind, but in the quality of the decisions you make. Good decisions compound, hustle just burns out. If you look at your calendar 6 months from now and it isn't 80% different from today, you haven't truly grown. You've just found a more organized way to stay stagnant. You have to stop being the one who executes every task and start being the one who designs the system. It's about being where your feet are, fully present at home because you built a world that doesn't fall apart without your constant touch. So, I want to leave you with one question to sit with. If someone handed you an extra 10 hours this week, free of charge, what would you do with that gift? Would you finally write? Would you play? Or would you just breathe? Let me know in the comments. Remember, you don't need more time. You just need to stop filling it with things that don't require your soul. As we bring this journey to a close, I want us to sit with a raw, uncomfortable truth. We aren't actually running out of time. We are simply drowning in things that don't deserve our soul. We've been conditioned to view life as an endless checklist, a race where the prize is more work, more stress, and more disconnection from the people we love. But your life is not a warehouse to be filled. It is a masterpiece to be curated. If you continue to let the world's public requests paint your canvas, you will end up living a life that belongs to everyone but you. By embracing the buyback principle and designing your preloaded year, you are finally reclaiming the brush. The shift we've discussed today, moving from a doer to a director, is the bridge between surviving and truly thriving. It's about realizing that exhaustion is not a requirement for success, and busy is often just a polite word for unfocused. When you stop trading your health and your family for low-value tasks that anyone could do, you unlock a level of clarity that most people will never know. Freedom isn't found in a bank account balance. It is found in the ability to be exactly where your feet are, fully present, without the ghost of an unfinished to-do list haunting your mind. You have the power to stop the bleeding today. You have the permission to choose better over harder. The profound lesson. Your value is not determined by your hustle. It is determined by the quality of your decisions. A single hour of strategic thinking in a peak state of mind is worth more than 100 hours of grind in a state of depletion. How to apply this today? 1. Perform the surgery. Look at your calendar for the coming week. Identify 3 red tasks that drain your energy and fall below your buyback rate. Delegate, automate, or eliminate them immediately. 2. Audit your focus. Set a timer for every 90 minutes tomorrow. Ask yourself, am I doing something only I can do, or am I just hiding in busy work? 3. Schedule your joy first. Before you add a single business meeting to your calendar for next month, block out your workouts, your date nights, and your rest. Treat these as non-negotiable appointments with your future self. If this perspective resonated with you, I invite you to join the Better State community. This is where we go deeper into the frameworks of personal development, mindset shifts, and the raw mechanics of self-discipline. We are a group of high performers dedicated to building a life by design, not by default. Join us to receive more insights on how to master your mind and reclaim your freedom. And if you found value in today's session, please subscribe to the channel. Your support gives me the fuel to keep deconstructing these systems and bringing you the tools to reach your own better state. Let's stop settling for a life of fine and start designing a life of extraordinary. I'll see you in the community.